Hello, oh, 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 oh. Should be better. Okay, I think I can turn okay now? Well, okay, yeah. I do have to talk a little louder. I guess I'm just afraid of talking too loud. But maybe just treat like I'm in theater. Okay, well, it's actually recording audio this time. Last time I tried this, it didn't, so we're doing better. Okay, so welcome to Justana Streaming Video Games. And the video game tonight is When the Night Comes by Lunaris Games. It's a visual novel, a supernatural urban fantasy type thing with 6 potential romances, 8 if you count the 2 polyamorous as separate romances. The characters in center on the loaded screen are the possible romance options. I will not spoil things by listing who they are. I will let you meet them in the game. So here we go. There are mildly disturbing content such as mind reading, wall pinning, and icons with 4 ears. You have been warned. So I already know the name I'm going to choose. I'm actually replaying a playthrough I've already done. This is on a different computer, so none of my saves are out here, which was a deliberate choice on my part. And this is a feature that I really like, that you can pick your pronouns. You can choose to be male, female, or non-binary. In this case, we are going female. Chapter 1, New Beginnings. I already know who I'm going to romance this route because I have not seen playthroughs with this particular romance, and I feel that's something that needs to be addressed, I guess you could say. So you have been selected for immediate transfer and are authorized to report to the enforcement headquarters, Lunaris. Please find your travel information and mission documents enclosed. Please read and ensure that they are promptly destroyed. The information is highly classified. And I missed the rest. But yeah, basically, you're being sent to this new town. You haven't been here before, and you arrive at dusk. Gorgeous artwork to start with. I just love the backgrounds and all the world building that has gone into this game. And I'm really excited to play the other games that this team is developing. Moving on. I've been traveling for days, and my feet are sore, my eyes tired, and all I can think about is how much I need a damn good night's sleep. We've all been there, I'm sure. I'm a hunter, and I've been called here by the Lieutenant General of Escria to lead an investigation in a matter apparently urgent. So immediately we know I'm not in Kansas anymore. We're not even in the world that we know. There have been a series of particularly violent murders here lately, and they can't seem to put their finger on who or what the culprit is. A who or a what? Oh no. And murder mystery, okay. I was the most skilled general in the previous town I was assigned to, but I eagerly welcome the change of scenery. Right, okay, so not native here. Doing a lot of traveling. Good to know. ... Even if it does involve murder. Murder! As I think further into the town, the feeling of dread that's washing over me is making me wonder if I made the right choice. You don't really have much of a choice with playing the game when you're playing the game for a reason, after all. As if I even really had one at all. Oh, really? I wander aimlessly through the narrow streets, unable to focus on much else other than the thought of a warm meal and a comfy bed. So why are you not wandering towards an inn? That's my question. Or maybe you just have no idea where the inn is, which is entirely possible. The only thing that distracts me from such thoughts is the way the sky begins to turn an inky, infinite black. Wisps of mist swirl around my ankles, seeping out from every crack and crevice. Yeah, that's not creepy. Flickers of magic are present within the smoky tendrils, and I can't help but wonder if my mind is playing tricks on me. Magic is a thing. Okay. I turn a sharp corner and see people running, scooping up small children scrambling to get inside. That's not good. The sound of doors slamming and locking echoes off the crooked stonework. Even worse. Curtains are drawn, windows closed, and then creepiness intensifies. Darkness. That transition is amazing. I love it. And it lets you know you need to pay attention to what's going on the screen. You can't just read the words. You have to look at the beautiful, gorgeous arts and characters, which is such a hardship. Although the stars are shining brightly at a glance and the crescent moon hangs low, neither offer much light. Note, and I forgot an important step. I forgot to save this. Yes, and maybe there was something I already said. Don't worry. It's unsettling to say the least. Yeah, unsettling is the word. A chill rolls down my spine and I walk faster, sore feet continuing their protest. Been there, done that, not fun. The instincts that have been a part of me since my initiation into the order kick in, and I have a feeling deep in the pit of my stomach that I need to get inside and fast. Instincts. Initiation. Order. What? I spot a mage-light lantern as I head further down the street. The dull blue flame flickers, inviting me in the darkness, drawing me in. Mage-light. Interesting. So does that mean, is this mage-light lantern? Does that mean these are all mage-lights as well? I guess I take the place of street lights. And we're inside the shop. Beautiful artwork again. It looks like a witch's shop, doesn't it? Or just any kind of shop where you buy stuff, casting spells and stuff. Push the weathered wooden door open and the light tinkle of a bell announces my presence. It's empty, only very dimly lit by a few worn-down candles. Candles, not mage lights. The walls are lined with curious trinkets, jars of strange-looking ingredients and potions, and an apparently endless collection of dusty old books. Books. Talking to a bibliophile here. Just the books alone have my attention. It smells faintly of incense and a little of... Is that ozone? Yes, like the way the air smells just before a storm. I would clarify that and before a lightning storm. Because the way it smells before a regular storm without lightning is different from the way it smells from a storm with lightning. But that's quibbling. It gives you an idea. Like lightning, like I said. I hear footsteps and turn to find their owner, and I'm taken aback by the figure that appears from behind a pair of well-placed curtains. And with more gorgeous artwork, including a gorgeous man before me. Love those eyes, and I like that shock of white across the forehead. And why is he wearing a high collar? Question mark. Oh, hello there. I was just closing up, but can I help you? For the record, I'm not going to do voices. I'm not very good at doing this. Wide eyes burn into me, brighter than the clearest of emeralds. Ooh. His aura is distinctly magical, and I'm very aware that I'm looking at a witch, a powerful one at that. So we can read auras. Okay. I'm sorry to intrude, but I appear to be a little lost. I'm looking for the tavern? Yeah, no duh. His gaze falls to my weapons, my stash, his cheeks darkening as realization apparently sets in. Notice I don't specify weapons. It's up to us entirely as to what our character looks like, what sort of weapons they carry. Oh, are you the new hunter? You're expecting me. I smile, delighted by a surprised expression. Now, for me, for this character, the image that I have in mind for her is she's basically tiny and petite, like Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And actually even shorter, because I looked it up and Sarah Michelle Gellar is like 5'4". I'm imagining this woman to be 5'0", like 5 foot flat. And she doesn't wear heels because not practical, and she is proud to be tiny and mighty. So she's tiny, petite, and she's a hunter. Not something you would expect to see, and that's why I kind of visualize her that way. Is it that obvious? And she's carrying a sword, and the sash is explained shortly. He returns my smile, and I can't help but feel welcome, strangely, at home. It's lovely to meet you. The town has been alight with gossip about you this week. Oh, my name is Ezra, by the way. Ezra. That's a lovely name. I'm Robin. It's nice to meet you, Ezra. And now for the sprite. Well, Robin, did anyone happen to tell you not to wander the streets when darkness falls? I'm a hunter. It's not supposed to be a problem. As capable a hunter as I'm sure you are, it's not advised, especially these days. Does this have anything to do with the mystery? That is why I've been summoned here? I shake my head, still a little out of sorts from the long journey. Then, much to my embarrassment, my stomach decides to grumble loudly, causing Ezra to throw me a curious look. My stomach does that too. How rude of me. You must be starving. Take a seat in the back room and I'll quickly fix you something up. Do you do this a lot? You really don't have to do that. I better be on my way. You'll do no such thing. It's too dangerous out there. Please, I insist. It's no trouble, really. What are those people? I can hardly refuse when he's looking at me like that. Plus, he is pretty. I nod and follow him as he parts the curtains from which he appeared, revealing a cozy living space. I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it? I love all the lights here and the sink, and I love the detail of the haphazardly stacked teapot and cups, and then a plant, and a sofa, and look, a painting of him. There's a small kitchenette with a crooked dining table, and nestled in the corner is a tattered but comfy-looking sofa. As long as it's comfy-looking, I'm good. Ezra fills an old steel steel kettle and pops it on the stove, lighting the stubborn burner before he turns and offers me a smile. I'm just going to pop upstairs and get you some blankets. I really do insist that you stay until morning. You must be exhausted, and the tavern is across town. Oh, well, in that case, I'd hate to send you out into the darkness, knowing... He pauses, stopping himself. Knowing what? What did you not say? Just wait here, and please, make yourself comfortable. I can think of nothing worse than even walking across the street right now, let alone across town. Sore feet is not fun. Thank you, Ezra. He disappears up a narrow staircase, and my curiosity instantly gets the better of me as I start to have a look around. A solitary candle burns upon the countertop, colorful, magical little lights hanging from various picture frames and shelves, as well as an abundance of luscious green plants. Lights, and the plants, and a painting, too. It's utterly enchanting, just like its owner. He's a witch. Of course it's enchanting, but understandable. The shop is obviously well loved, with generous amounts of personal belongings and keepsakes littering every possible nook. I eye a tiny dish that's overflowing with brightly colored jewelry, and beside it sits a pile of crumpled parchment. Some of the pages are covered in elegant looping script, and others are filled with lovingly rendered portraits, mostly of Ezra himself. Honestly, he doesn't seem the type to do that, so who's drawing these portraits? I tentatively reach for one of the sketches at the top of the pile, but a loud creak startles me. Oh no. I turn, always on edge as I've been taught to be, my fingers edging towards my weapon. The hairs on the back of my neck stand to attention. And I realize the music is really quiet. The music changed. There's a creature nearby. Creature? What kind of creature? That's when I see them. A pair of glowing, fierce golden eyes, peering up at me from a previously hidden hatch in the floorboards before I could even think about defending myself. Whoa. Hello. I'm pinned to the wall by a firm, cold, and inherently not human arm pressed firmly across my chest. Oh my. Who the hell are you? Where's Ezra? An inhuman growl rumbles in his throat, his lips curled into a snarl that affords me a view of a set of long, sharp, white fangs. I wonder. If I hadn't already cracked his deathly pallor, there'd be no second guessing what kind of creature I'm dealing with here. Vampire! I know I'd already be quite dead if that's what he truly wanted, and I feel nothing from him other than the overwhelming desire to protect something or someone. His aura is panicked but non-threatening, so I decide to relax against his hold. I cautiously raise my hand to surrender in the hopes that he'll stand down. I do not condone harming creatures who do not wish to harm me. That's not what we're taught and not what we stand for. Right on. At least, being honorable hunters is always bad actors. Plus, vampires are the closest thing there is to humans in the Demonology Handbook, and I've met a few reasonable ones in my time. A few. He retreats a little, just as I'd hoped, enough for me to gather my composure. So, first choice. Tell him Ezra is safe, ask him who he is. And obviously the response will differ depending on which choice you make, and I will pick this one. Ezra is fine, I swear it. Those bright, disarming eyes burn into my own, a chill skittering over my skin. He looks like he's searching for something, his dark brows twitching as he studies my face, a thick scar cutting through the one on the right. Something that looks a lot like relief settles upon his face. I can't help but wonder what a vampire is doing sneaking into Ezra's home at this hour. I have my suspicions. If you're playing tricks on me, I'll have your head. Understand? I nod once, my hand still raised where I can see I mean him no harm. I'm not lying. He's safe. He's upstairs. I tip my chin towards the staircase and hopefully use his head and seek Ezra out with those impressive vampire senses of his. Yeah, use those impressive senses, dude. Takes a step back, but he still doesn't seem to trust me with the way he's looking at me as I am to go by. The sound of the kettle whistling as it comes to a boil distracts him, and he visibly relaxes. His gaze quickly darts to the staircase and back to me. He steps back, the candlelight illuminating his angular face, all sharp lines and hair as black as the night. He's otherworldly, obviously attractive in that tall, dark, dead way, and his left arm is missing from the shoulder down. Oh, wait, this isn't a full sleeve tattoo? It looks rad. In its place is an advanced-looking prosthetic glowing with what looks like incredibly advanced magic. I wonder whose magic. He catches me looking at it and quirks that scarred brow. Like what you see? Sorry, it's not for sale. And cheeky grin. Ezra appears from upstairs, his eyes wide as he surveys the sight before him. Finnegan, what are you doing here? Oh, his name is Finnegan? They meet each other halfway, the vampire reaching for him. Iron fingers tenderly curl around Ezra's forearm, his prosthetic glowing brightly as if it's responding to the touch. To Ezra. I feel a little like I'm intruding by watching this exchange, but I just can't seem to bring myself to look away. I sensed that you felt uneasy. I came immediately. Aww. Are you okay? Ezra smiles, covering Finn's hand with his own to gently pat it once, twice. A reassuring gesture. The intricate patterns etched into the dark iron pulse like a heartbeat. Sweet. I'm fine. I was very briefly startled by the appearance of our new friend here. I see. I'm sorry about that less than savory introduction, Hunter. Things are a little on edge lately. I'd never have guessed. Dry as the dry tones. Ezra has to laugh, shaking his head almost incredulously. I'm fine, Finn. You don't have to jump on every stranger that passes this way. Just the attractive ones. That final reassurance seems to make the tension melt from Finn's broad shoulders. Sorry, Robin. You don't need to be alarmed. He's an ally, I swear it. Even if he doesn't give the best first impression. Finn offers me a genuine, almost soft smile, but he looks guilty. As he should, I suppose. I catch Ezra eyeing me warily, clearly sensing my apprehension to the unusual situation unfolding before my eyes. Finn's whole demeanor changed the second he laid eyes on Ezra, and I feel any final traces of fear melting away as he steps forward and offers me his hand. The smile that crosses his lips is mischievous and cold. Cold fingers grip my own in a firm handshake when I reach for him. It's truly a pleasure, Robin. His eyes brush over me like a caress, his pupils widening, dilating. I feel myself swaying, leaning towards him almost unconsciously. Oh no, what's he doing? There's a soft whisper of muffled thoughts echoing in my mind, and I can't quite tell if they belong to me or him. What are you doing, Finn? It's soothing, and whatever he's doing grants me the foresight to see that emotionally is harmless. He bears no ill will towards me. Something tells me he now sees I'm harmless too. Finnegan, stop that! It's not polite. No, it isn't. Finn closes his eyes briefly, breaking whatever connection he's created with me. I've heard of vampires enthralling their victims before a kill, but that felt more like me. Like he wanted to show me he can be trusted. He exchanges an almost sheepish, knowing glance with Ezra, and I quickly feel my mind clearing itself. Well, that didn't last long. Sorry, I was just checking. Can't blame him for being cautious. He looks at me, and as our eyes lock, I nod once, appreciating that he cared enough to put me at ease. How many vampires would do that? Then he's grinning, wickedly. I hope we didn't hear anything untoward in there. But all I would have heard was, oh no, they're both hot. Anyway, Ezra fusses with the kettle, pouring me a cup of fragrant tea and offering it to me on a pretty floral saucer. Here, this will help you get a good night's sleep. I take the cup with a nod, both of them staring intently as I take a small sip. It's good, refreshing, and exactly what I need. Of course it is. So, Robin, are you looking forward to becoming part of this Ouch! Ezra elbows him in the ribs, throwing him a stern warning glance, and the vampire flinches dramatically. Lovely town. I wonder what he's going to say before. Do you have any idea what you've gotten yourself into? I'm used to a little adventure. I truly hope I can help. Ezra looks defeated but strangely optimistic. I hope my words sound honest because I really have little choice. Yeah, clearly, this is the second time it's been indicated. I have to help. It's my job. Okay, that's why. My duty. Well, you certainly seem capable enough. Finn grimaces, exchanging a strange look with Ezra, and I feel like they're not telling me something. Clearly they know more about what's going on, but not saying anything to me. My clan and I are at your disposal should you require any assistance. Clan? He nods, but I decide not to press him for details yet. I'd like to know how many supposedly good vampires lurk in Lunaris. I offer them both a smile, finishing up my tea. Ezra hurries to take the empty cup from me and sets it upon the table. He places his hand upon Finnegans' arm, the intricate patterns that are etched into the iron flickering with the contact once again. Clearly, there's a strong connection there. Finn, Robin needs to rest. Maybe you should head home? Finn nods, and Ezra follows him as he heads for the hatch. They embrace briefly, and Finn whispers something into Ezra's ear, the witch grinning brightly as he pulls away. Finn's warm, golden gaze locks with my own, and he smiles. Be sure to take care, Robin. If you ever need anything, just scream and I'll come running. Oh, scream, okay. He winks, and my traitor's cheeks starting to warm at the sight of it. He notices and laughs quietly, a deep, comforting rasp that I could most certainly get used to. It was nice to meet you, Finn. Finn gracefully lowers himself into the hatch, and Ezra stares into the darkness until the door slams shut. He turns, clearing his throat as he retrieves a tin of biscuits from a cupboard. He offers them to me and waits expectantly until I take a handful. Listen, please don't let our apprehension worry you. I'm sure you're more than capable of getting to the bottom of these murders, Robin. It's just not safe out there. We're all horribly on edge. Some are saying the town has been cursed, but I sense something else. Something bigger. Even though we've only just met, I think I can trust him. Within moments of my arrival, I could tell something about the town is off, and I intend to get to the bottom of this mess. I have to live up to my apparently impressive reputation, right? We've lost people, good people, and the investigation has just halted. We don't know what more we can do. He quickly gathers himself, forcing a laugh to break the somber mood. Oh dear, look at me getting all emotional when you're probably absolutely dead on your feet and desperate to get some sleep. Yes. As much as I hate to admit it, I am, and I stifle a yawn as Ezra tries to fuss with some blankets. I'm thoroughly looking forward to settling upon the sofa, however tiny it may be. Well, considering she's 5 foot, the sofa is not that cramped for her. Thank you for letting me stay, Ezra. I'll be out of your hair first thing. Really, it's no problem at all. I wouldn't dream of letting you wander the streets at this hour, especially after that journey. Lunaris might be tiny, but I'll see you in the morning. If you need anything, just shout. He heads upstairs, and I eagerly remove my boots with a relief instant. I settle against the soft cushions, pulling the blanket up to my chin. Despite the abundance of questions that currently flood my mind, I swiftly fall into a blissful, dreamless sleep. And I'm going to pause there super quick. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. And just falling asleep on the cozy little couch. And I don't know how tiny the couch is. It looks really tiny, so maybe it's a bit of a squeeze. I've been on couches like that where I thought I could fit okay because I'm shorter than Robin for the record, and I still had to squeeze a little, and I like to stretch out when I sleep, so it was not comfortable. And morning. So we can tell that it's morning because the sunlight is streaming in now. We can see everything a little better. All the little candelabra, the bulbs, crystals, the plants. After I wake and Ezra eagerly makes me more tea, I join him in the shop as I prepare to leave. I wait patiently while he deals with what sounds like a particularly difficult customer. Who knows? I eavesdrop while surveying the various interesting books that line the walls, most of them in a language I most desperately don't understand. There's a strange energy in the air, and my senses tell me that Ezra's visitor is also of magical origin. Another witch. Oh no, he's also hot. Are they all going to be hot? Is it a he? You really can't just drop by like this and expect me to have what you need right away. These things take time. That's always your excuse. I just think you don't want me to have it. Oh, little flare of magic. Still afraid I'll best you? Ezra sighs, apparently not willing to argue or maybe knowing he'll lose. The tall figure he's bickering with turns to look at me, and I'm caught off guard by piercing sky blue eyes. They scowl, their lips pursed as they turn on a towering heel, waving at Ezra dismissively over their shoulder as he opens his mouth to address them. Oh my. They steal their gaze, staring me down and studying me from head to toe. Now, for the record, this character is 6 foot. My character is 5 foot, so that's a foot difference between the two. So they're staring down at Robin. I register the familiar violet sash that adorns the torso, the same as mine, and exchange a quick glance with Ezra. He looks apologetic as he emerges from behind the counter to join us. An enforcer then, one who apparently doesn't feel that it's necessary to wear the standard uniform. I mean, you see what they're wearing, right? They have a commanding presence about them, and I can't help but wonder what rank they hold. So you're my new subordinate. Interesting. Oh, this is my new boss? Oh no. Gus. August? So this is the infamous Major General Willenheim that I've been assigned to. Oh. They're a prolific figure in the community, known for being responsible for one of the best hunters Espria has to offer. So they're responsible for one of the best hunters, and why am I being brought in? It will be a true honor to serve under them. Under them or under them? We shall see. So the way Ezra says their name carries a warning, and August scowls at him briefly before turning their attention back to me. I notice how tired they look, their eyes heavy, skin pale, and they almost sway where they stand. Oh, poor baby's exhausted. Apparently Ezra notices too, a flash of concern crossing his features as he quickly rushes to gather some ingredients from a locked cabinet. It looks like he's done this before, seen them like this before. So are they working themselves to the bone? It's a pleasure to meet you, Enforcer Willenheim. Yes, I know who you are. Your arrival has caused quite a stir and more than a little paperwork. You're worried about paperwork. Really? They glance over at Ezra, watching as he breaks off a few sprigs from a neatly wrapped bundle of herbs and pops them into a glass glass. Now, should I be saying herbs or herbs? Because apparently this is more British-inspired. I'm going to stick with herbs because I'm American. Their foot taps impatiently on the floor, and exasperated scoff falling from their lips as they turn to look at me once again, eyes rolling. So tell me, Hunter Locke, are you ready to partake in one of the most baffling missions I've come across? Yes, General. I don't have a choice. Of course, General. I'm looking forward to working with you. They quirk a perfectly sculpted brow, lips pursed in contemplation. I don't set for fools, and I don't tolerate tardiness. Oh, what are those people? If you're capable, we'll get along just fine. Their unrelenting gaze burns into my own, and I swallow thickly, offering them as genuine a smile as I can muster under such scrutiny. Yeah, I would be a little intimidated, especially since they're a foot taller than me. I think everything will work out. This won't be as effective, but it'll do the job for now. As August eagerly reaches for the vial, question Ezra's palm, and Ezra pulls away, fixing them with a worried gaze. Please, Gus, stop doing this to yourself. They're pushing you too far, and you know it. You're better than this. There's history there. Ezra surrenders the vial, the viscous violet liquid glowing dully as August takes it with a trembling hand. Now we both know that's not true. I wonder who we should believe here. Ezra's hand covers theirs, and he squeezes once before pulling away, his eyes sad. There's always a choice. Remember that. August seems lost for words, but manages to maintain their carefully crafted annoyance. Crafted? Huh. Okay. They reach for the door with yet another roll of their eyes, pausing briefly to catch my gaze. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't be late. Sir, yes, sir. We stand outside the shop, the sky bright, but the town somehow still feeling inherently gloomy. Isn't that the case in a lot of parts of England? If you ever need anything, you know where to find me. Please don't hesitate to stop by. Aw, sweetie. I smile, so incredibly grateful that I stumbled across Ezra. You won't get rid of me if you say that. Oh, I wouldn't mind. Ah. His smile softens, eyes shining. I mean it, though. Anytime. Be careful. Thank you, Ezra. I bid him farewell, reluctantly leaving the warmth and safety of the shop behind. I follow the rickety old street signs that point me towards the tavern, a place I'll be calling home for the foreseeable future. The tavern is bustling and full to the brim with red-faced patrons, the tables littered with empty tankards. It's only 9:30 in the morning, but clearly this town likes to drown their sorrows even if the sun has barely risen. Oh, they're day drinking! I push my way to the bar, and a scowling barmaid rolls her eyes at me as I politely raise my hand to get her attention. What? I have a room here. Could I check in, please? The barmaid rolls her eyes again and ducks beneath the bar, reappearing within a few seconds. Room isn't ready until 2. You'll have to get a drink or something. Huh, great. I muster a polite, forced smile, turning to find a table, but I find myself face to face with a striking, scowling young woman who appears to be blocking me entirely on purpose. Take note. Yes, vitiligo. I think I pronounced that right. So, this is the famous Hunter Locke, taking my place then. Hold on. You're a hunter? Okay. Dark blue eyes look me up and down in a slow drag, and she scoffs loudly. You don't look like anything special to me. And she's 5'6", so she's a half foot taller than me, so I'm still tiny. Come to gloat, have you? Rub it in my face? Someone's bitter. Not that I blame her. It's nice to meet you. I'm Robin. She looks taken aback, clearly not expecting me to be polite. She straightens up, her features softening. Kind of. I know exactly who you are. I'm Piper Merriman. I'm the former general. I was leading this investigation until you came along. I had no idea. I just go where I'm ordered. You of all people must know that we don't have much of a choice. Her gaze drops to her hands and she picks out a non-existent piece of lint on her trousers. Oh, baby. Yes, well, I do know that, I suppose. So I've really been called here to take Piper Merriman's place. She's a legend, having racked up more kills than some of the most seasoned hunters, and all at the tender age of 24. So she's young. I feel terrible. Yeah, I would too. I wasn't told I'd be replacing anyone, and her anger suddenly seems pretty justified. Yep. I'd be devastated if I was demoted. We worked so hard, put our lives on the line, and all the while the majority of the enforcers sit safely behind their desks, holding our fate in their hands that aren't stained with blood. Nice. Piper makes a vague gesture at the barmaid, and she swiftly handed a glass of warm amber liquid that she delicately cradles in her palm. She steps closer, her breath straight with the smell of rum, eyes narrowed. She's been day drinking already. We could always work together. I get the feeling I need the help. She continues to look annoyed, but I can tell a more vulnerable emotion lingers beneath that seemingly rock-hard exterior. She swirls the rum around, watching the gentle splash of it as it coats the sides of the glass. Yes, well, that's what I get for being utterly shit at my job, isn't it? She scoffs a laugh, but the smile that curls at her ruby lips doesn't race her eyes. Oh, that's the worst. Anyway, I'm sure I'll see you in the field. I'm not totally useless, apparently. They just have me doing a shit job, like figuring out faceless and stuff that doesn't actually matter. Yeah, it's a bit of a come down. What a waste. Yeah, if you mean general at 24 and you're doing that kind of shit. Forces just a bunch of pencil-pushing wankers. That's definitely British. I stay silent, sensing that she might need someone to vent to. I've been there. Our job can be hard, and not just on our bodies. I can see I'm boring you. I'll just be over there, continue to drown my sorrows until Willenheim summons me. What an arsehole. I huff a laugh, covering my mouth with my hand in a poor attempt to stifle the noise, and she seems briefly amused by my reaction. She offers me a thoughtful glass and sighs loudly. Don't take any shit from them, okay? Come and see me if they bother you. I'm not afraid to stick my boot up their backside. Again. Wait, again? I want to hear about that. Anyway, I'll see you around. She doesn't wait for me to respond, and with a flick of long chestnut hair, she's gone. I spot her disappearing into the heavy crowd that's milling about in the center of the tavern, a crowd that's apparently pretty bloody angry about something. Uh-oh. I hear yelling, and I decide to investigate. Of course, because why wouldn't we? Might as well get stuck in, right? I push my way into the crowd, and what I find both baffles and amuses me. A lichen sat smack bang in the middle of the tavern, arms folded across his chest defiantly. He has a smirk plastered across his scarred lips, his wolf ears twitching dismissively as the small crowd of pissed-off townsfolk hoot and holler at him. Get out of here, you furry scum! Your type ain't welcome here. The lichen huffs a laugh, grabbing his drink and taking his wig, uncaring, maybe even pretending they aren't there. Honestly, he seems perfectly harmless, but I hold that thought as my eyes drift to his chest where his flimsy torn shirt is spread open. A mark. An enforcer brand. Maybe not quite so harmless then. As far as I'm aware, a creature is only marked if they're on the enforcement agency watch list. If they're deemed deadly. Oh no. He spots me, his scarlet eyes flashing, and then he's kicking out the chair in front of him and gestures for me to sit down. Despite the presence of such a friend, my instincts tell me I'm safe, that he won't hurt me here. So, I oblige. Instincts. Interesting. The tavern falls deathly silent as I take a seat, and the crowd slowly begins to disperse, though their eyes stay firmly fixed upon both myself and the lichen as they return to their respective seats. They're lucky I kept my cool, wouldn't you say, Hunter? I guess it's something that I like with 4 ears. You seem harmless enough, but I think I could handle you. His brows draw together in a deep scowl, but he still looks relatively relaxed, playful even. Oh, you do you? Care to test that theory? One of his ears twitches and I can't help but smile at the loose threat. Maybe another time. How about you tell me your name and why you apparently have a death wish? He bristles, his tail wrapped around the leg of his chair as he places his now empty tankard upon the table, the noise drawing a gasp from nearly every single patron. They're paying attention. I glance over at Piper, who sits in the corner, either oblivious or uncaring. It's all her, and I don't have a death wish, not today, anyway. Good to know. Only today? He smiles, folding his arms back across his chest. He leans back in his seat, relaxing, his tension visibly melting away. Good. You don't need to concern yourself with me, Hunter. I stay far away from your kind. From everyone, really. And yet you're saying in love with Tabby. Well, it's like I'm looking for me, of course. He glances over his shoulder, catching Piper's gaze. She flips him off, and he turns back around to face me, his shoulders shaking with quiet laughter. Enjoys pissing her off. Alrighty. I'm sure you'll grow to despise me in time, just like every other idiot in this stupid town. Are you sure? You look pretty good to me. He stands and all the patrons stiffen, breaths held. It's so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Alcar rolls his eyes and flashes me a grin. He looms over me, questioning that I can smell the earthy, distinctly petrichor scent of him. Strangely pleasing for a man who looks like he hasn't washed in days. If my advice is worth anything to you, then trust me when I say to trust no one. He stares me down, waiting, watching. Even you? He smiles at that. Especially me. Goodbye, Hunter. I watch him leave, feeling everyone's gaze upon me. I compose myself and offer them a smile, as genuine as I can muster after such an odd encounter. I glance at the clock, and it's only 10:30. I have some time to kill. Yeah, no shit. The town is small, very small, and it takes me less than an hour to walk it from end to end. I find myself drawn to the cemetery at the scent of blood thick here. This is the site of the last murder, and I come across a patch of scorched grass, the earth around it trampled. The remnants of a crumbled gravestone are littered around the perfect black outline of a body, and I take a deep breath. I crouch down, skimming my fingers over the dead grass. I close my eyes and try to picture it, but it's hard to truly see, knowing how stark the darkness is here. It's a blur, a mere memory, but I feel terror. They were so scared, utterly alone in their final moments. But something sticks out over all of that fear. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry about what? I love you. Oh, makes sense. The words hit me hard, my chest aching, and I feel an intense longing. I feel love. It's powerful and unconditional, so much so that it snatches the air from my lungs. I take a deep breath and force myself to stand, trying to shake the feeling. I'll find out who killed you. Then, I'm startled by the sudden sound of heavy footsteps, a hand hovering over my weapon. I look around frantically, on guard, ready, and then a striking figure appears. And last one. He's clad in fine clothing, his long hair tied in a neat ponytail, the crown of his head adorned with delicate jewelry. And he's smiling? Hello, Hunter. I've been looking forward to meeting you. I should be unsettled, the pointed teeth and sharp claws indicating he's definitely not human. No, really? Then the flicker of a spade-tipped tail tells me all I need to know. A glamour demon. Though I'm finding it hard to be alarmed by his presence. His eyes are a warm chestnut brown, and they sparkle in the dappled sunlight as he gazes at me in wonder. You have? You've been expecting me? I watch as his cheeks darken, his gaze drop into the grass. Well, people talk, and I listen. Oh, he's blushing. And I did a lot of talking about you. I hope I didn't scare you. I'm not quite used to human introductions just yet. Well, he's certainly not like any other demon I've encountered. That's true. Not trying to kill me helps. Yeah, it would. You didn't. It's okay. You're sure? I've gotten used to startling people. I promise. I've seen scarier. He laughed, his tail flicking. Yeah, you see that? Scroll back. Play that direction. Now the other direction. That's pretty cool. Oh, I'm certain you have. His aura is calm. It's not a little skittish. I know besides he's probably more scared of me than I of him. He's hard to read, and that's frustrating, but not necessarily alarming. What's your name? The demon exhales sharply, apparently relieved that I'm making conversation rather than drawing my weapon. Yeah, I would be too. It's Omen. A demon called Omen. Reassuring. Yeah. I'm Robin. So, how has your first day in Lunaris been? I hope a quiet laugh. Yet again perplexed by the wonderfully weird inhabitants of this town. He's certainly the most polite demon I've ever met. I offer him a small, genuine smile. I guess it's been fine, thank you. I'm just a little overwhelmed. Bit of a fucking strange town, isn't it? Omen laughed, the sound musical and almost infectious, causing my own smile to widen. You're being polite. It's more than strange. It's a mess. A mess I and many holders hope you can fix. I grimaced, my gaze drifting back down to the post where the last murder victim lay. I sigh, muster as much confidence as I possibly can. I can do this. I can solve these murders. So, absolutely no pressure then. Omen shrugs playfully. No pressure at all. Welcome to Lunaris, Robin. End chapter. And that's where we'll end the stream. So I hope you enjoyed this. Next chapter is when we can start flirting with characters. I already know, like I said, I already know who I'm going to romance, but I'm not going to say. I'm sure one person has figured it out because they know me. But for now, third option's unlocked. Yay! So going back to the home page. And thank you for watching, and I hope as I continue to play this that you continue to watch. Take care.